tool, and it's the user-defined fields. This is going to be a basic introduction to this tool, and I will be sharing a link to a document which contains a lot of more advanced information if you want to start playing with the user-defined fields in SAP Business One. You know that documents and grids in SAP Business One, you already have plenty of fields, but if there is a field that you really need and you can't find, you can add your own fields to SAP Business One. One important thing to note is that whenever you're going to be adding a new user-defined field, this is of course not only for your user. This is going to affect all users in your company. And before creating new user-defined fields, you should warn the other users in your company to log off their system. This is due to the fact that the change is going to affect the database, and if someone is working, they will be probably kicked out of whatever they were doing. They will lose the job that they were doing, and there might be additional problems with the database. So it's very important that you ask your fellow users in your company to log out of the system. So in order to create a user-defined field, you need to go to Tools in your menu and then choose Customization Tools. And here in the under Customization Tools, you'll see user-defined tables, which is something that we can see on a different date. And today we're going to choose user-defined fields management. This will open this window, and you see that you can add user-defined fields to all these screens and documents within SAP Business One. Today, we're going to be creating two different user-defined fields so that you can see a couple of examples. And we're going to choose to create them at the business partner level. So we're going to create one here at the business partner master data. And for that, we choose this row, and then we click on the button Add. This is going to bring the field data window in which you choose a title. And for instance, in this case, we're going to pretend that we're creating a user-defined field because we want to keep track of our customers and if they have a strategy for COVID-19. So the field title is going to be CV19, and the description is going to be COVID-19 strategy. Bear in mind that you're going to use this title if you want to include this field in a query or any related transaction. And this is a description that you will see on the field. So here you have different options. You can choose the type of field that you're creating. Is it alphanumeric and the length of the field? Is it only numeric? Is it a date and time type of field? Do you want to track units and totals? In this case, we're going to choose alphanumeric, and we're going to give this field 45 characters, which I think would be enough to describe the strategy that this customer has in this very specific situation. And here in validation, you also have a couple of different options. If you choose none, there will be no validation done, as it's self-explanatory. You can link this to entities. You can add valid values or use advanced. In this case, we're going to keep it with non-validation. And here you have also a couple of different options. You can set a default value for this field. So in case there is no manual input in this field, there will be a default value, which we're not going to choose in this case. And we can also decide to make this a mandatory field, meaning that, for instance, in this we're creating this field in the business partner master data. If we create a business partner and we fail to fill this field, the system will not allow us to add that new business partner. So if we want to make it a mandatory field, we will click here. In this case, we're not making it mandatory, we're just adding it. See here, the system is showing me that there are workstations connected to the company. In this case, these are services. So I know this, I know there is not another user using this database. And these are just services that are connecting to this database, so I can choose to ignore. But like I mentioned at the beginning, it's very, very recommended that you do make sure that there are no other users connected to the database. So I choose to ignore, and then this will add this user-defined field to the business partner master data. And we're also going to create, see, we had already a number of user-defined fields in this master data, and the one that I just created was just added here. And we're also going to create another one so that you see a difference at the level of the contact persons within our business partner master data. So we're going to click on add again. And here I just want to find out, I want to keep track. Let's imagine that I want to keep track of who's working at home, who's working from home as a result of this situation. And I want to have this information available at a contact level, working from home, because for whatever reason, this might be relevant for me to know when I'm contacting someone. So in this case, I'm going to choose also alphanumeric, but I only need 3 characters maximum. The structure is going to still be a regular structure, and I'm going to choose to create a grid of valid values. So in this case, I have only 2 options. The first one is going to be yes, this person is working from home. And the second one is going to be no, this person is not working from home. See that I chose to the value, it's very self-explanatory, and in the value, that's also something that you could use in, that's what you're going to see in reports. So if you can choose a value that it's already giving you a little bit of information, that's fantastic. Uh, in this case, we say that if we're not inputting this, we're going to assume that it's yes, for instance, and we're still not going to make it mandatory, but we could make it mandatory. And that would mean that we cannot add a new contact person to a business partner without filling this field. So we're going to add this, and again is warning me that there are some workstations connected. I know that it's only some services, and this has already been created. So I'm going to click on OK, and see when I now go and open a business partner, and I'm just going to choose the last one. Here at the business partner, in order to see the UDFs, we have this, it was already open. We have this little tab here. If you don't see this, you need to go to View and click on user-defined fields. So if it's not clicked, you won't see it. If you click on View and you click on user-defined fields, you'll see this little tab. And once you click on it, you'll see here the field that we just created. In order to hide the user-defined fields, we just click there. And the field that we created at the contact level, it's already here in the grid. And if you see, this field has already been filled out with the default value that we wanted it to show. So again, very important to warn your colleagues and fellow users to log off the system before you make any of these changes, as it will affect the full database. But very, very customizable tip to make this system your own and work for you with the fields that you need. If you have any questions, like I mentioned at the beginning, I'm going to be sharing a link in the text once we finalize the video to a helpful document. And also, I wanted to tell you that today we're having a very interesting webinar at 11:30. It's going to be on approval processes. Let me share our website with you so that you can, if you haven't had the chance to register yet, you can go to our website, which is consensusintl.com or consensussap.us. And if you click on resources and you choose webinars and workshops, you'll see the information about upcoming webinars here, and you can just click here to register to today's webinar. It's going to be conducted by Richard Calvo, and it's going to be on the approval process, and it's also a very useful piece of information that if you manage approval processes, I think it could be very recommended to assist. I hope you have a nice day, and I'll see you tomorrow.